Andrew and Abby Borden were mercilessly hacked to death with a hatchet. Abby as she cleaned the upstairs guest room, and Andrew as he lay napping on the sitting room couch downstairs. Not a sound had been heard by the myriad pedestrians outside, but the house, now stained with blood, had witnessed it all. Welcome to my channel Enlightenment in the Darkness. The infamous murderess of Fall River, Massachusetts creates dark tourism. The family home now turned into the Lizzy Borden bed and breakfast, allowing regular folks, like me, to stay overnight in the house where Lizzy allegedly murdered her parents. Dark history and ghost stories around Abby and Lizzy. In 1845, two-family home was built in Fall River, Massachusetts. Remained two-family until Andrew Borden bought it in the mid-1800s, converting it into a large single-family home for his family. It is within this home Lizzy Borden was born in 1860. Only 3 years later her biological mom, Sara, was dead, and 3 years after that, her father remarried a woman named Abby. At 37 years old, in those days Abby wasn't considered marriage material. To marry someone of Andrew's station in Fall River was very surprising. She wanted respect and status, something Abby lacked her entire life. Some say Andrew didn't love her, was only seeking a replacement mother for his daughters Lizzy and Emma. They all lived in the 232nd Street house, until one horrific afternoon in August of 1892. Borden family strife. But why such violence? Well, maybe because Lizzy and Emma hated Abby, sarcastically calling her Mrs. Borden, avoiding her company, far as refusing to sit down to family meals. As emotional revenge, Andrew and Abby turned the house into a stern and loveless place. It caused Lizzy to feel neglected, so she rebelled. It's said she stole from local stores, starting as rumor and reported as fact. However, according to the Fall River Herald News, this may not be true after all. The incident was splashed across the front pages of many local news sources, hungry for sensational Lizzy headlines. But the papers quickly dropped the story, maybe proving the whole thing was a mistake. Still, the bad press fueled speculation from gossipers who claimed that Lizzy had always been a known thief. Still, she wasn't considered a perfect daughter. But even with hatred for Abby, Lizzy remained respectful to her father as a disciplinarian, but is said to have felt little love for the man. Anger deepened with the sisters' suspicion of Abby's monetary intentions. They knew she was after the Andrews' money and status. Their father fell into the spell, buying her many lavish gifts. This made Lizzy and Emma jealous. Later, reports deemed this a crime of passion, saying there was anger in each swing bashing Abby's head into pulp, and even after falling stone dead to the floor, the killer continued swinging. Meanwhile, Andrew was outside the house, came up the front steps returning from a morning walk. He tried opening the door, but his key didn't turn, knocking and yelling as the family's maid walked over from the kitchen. The lock didn't turn from the inside either. It was jammed. She yelled through the door to Andrew, then stopped silent. Someone was breathing. Looking up the stairs, the maid heard creaking from the floorboards at the top. It sounded like a woman laughing softly, believed to be Lizzy, just after brutally murdering her stepmother, standing up there covered in her blood, holding the hatchet down at her side. The maid said nothing, turning back to the door and with new vigor, twisting the lock with a pop. Andrew pushed open the door, thanked the maid and walked into the house, planned to go about his daily duties, completely unaware of his dead wife and the murderer right upstairs. The maid went about her duties, she heading up the back stairs and cleaning the third floor. Time passes when she hears Lizzy screaming from the first floor. "Father's dead. Someone came in and killed him." The police found Andrew lying on the couch with his legs resting on the floor. Final report said, the killer swung a hatchet-like weapon 11 times against his face and head. Lizzy Borden was the only suspect. The trial was long, every detail carefully examined and discussed in the courtroom. The maid testified, saying she didn't witness either murder, did confirm Lizzy was inside the house and mentioned the laughter from the top of the stairs. Timing confirms that Andrew's murder happened after Abby was brutally murdered. Everyone thought it was creepy, but no evidence against Lizzy. Then the police report was read to the jury. From Lizzy's testimony given inside the house with her parents lying dead nearby. She told police, "I was in the barn when father was murdered. Someone must have come in off the street, killed him and ran out." Interesting fact. Lizzy was wearing a different dress. Came from the maid's testimony. She changed into another dress before the police arrived. They demanded she bring them the other dress. Lizzy said, "I burned it." They asked her, "Why did you burn it?" Her answer, "Because I spilled paint on it." Also, while searching the house, police found a hatchet head in the basement. All shiny and clean but missing the handle. The prosecution argued that Lizzy removed the handle. The prosecution brought in a wooden case containing the skulls of the victims, trying to expose Lizzy's narcissistic lack of emotion. Grabbing the latch, the prosecutor swung open the boxes, revealing the bashed-in skulls of Andrew and Abby Borden. Andrew Borden's bashed-in skull. They foresaw Lizzy's reaction as cold and unemotional to such a shocking and dark degree. Wasn't long after the jury came back with their verdict, not guilty, and Lizzy Borden was free, deemed innocent by the court, but thought guilty by everyone else. She became an infamous, as shown in the famous rhyme. Lizzy Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. The rhyme is believed to have been created by a local Fall River reporter. It's catchy, flows really nice, but not historically accurate. And you know I'm a stickler for gory details. In truth, Lizzy whacked Abby 19 times and Andrew 11 times, allegedly. Yes, the residents of Fall River were upset Lizzy got acquitted from all charges. Even worse, that her and sister Emma inherited Andrew's house. They lived together for years. Then Emma suddenly moved out in 1905. Lizzy died on June 1, 1927 from severe pneumonia, and Emma died only 9 days later, on June 10, 1927, from nephritis, a kidney disease. Both Lizzy and Emma are buried with the family in Fall River's Oak Grove Cemetery. Ironically, Lizzy and Emma not resting too far from Andrew and Abby. So what are your thoughts about these gruesome murders? Please feel free to comment below. I wish to thank you for joining me here today on my channel, Enlightenment in the Darkness. Please like and subscribe to my content. Many blessings to the rest of your day.